Hi, this is Shui with a review of the Cosmic Unity 3. Cosmic Unity series has been a bit of a meh, or a make you tilt your head a little bit because, I think the first one was created for Anthony Davis, but he was almost never seen wearing it, always donning his Kobe's and now the LeBron 20s. This one, it was presented, I believe, to Asia. I can't remember her surname. This lady named Asia who plays for the WNBA. So it's a unique marketing scheme. So the upper reminds you a lot of the Air Max 97. The midsole, this little pattern, somehow for me it reminds me of the Reebok Question 1, the first signature shoe for Allen Iverson. First of all, it feels pretty heavy for a shoe that seems lightweight. I think there's a lot of knit material unnecessarily covering the whole shoe because the knit isn't everything. I hate it when it's knit and then inside they have an inner layer that adds to I guess a lack of breathability. I mean, it provides a foamy, cushy feel, but at the same time it negates the fact that you've used the knit materials to hug and form to the shape of your foot. So that is puzzling to me. For a size US 9, it weighs about 440 grams. It feels close to it feels LeBron heavy, the old LeBron heavy. It feels like it weighs a lot more than that. The midsole, there's a substantial amount of foam used around, and I believe even though it's pretty, it's got a drop-in midsole, but the shoe itself has a bit of a cushioning, not just the strobo board, but either the strobo board is very thick or underneath that they have a bit of a layer of a foam. So yeah. So with this pretty low to the ground drop-in midsole, combining with this slight layer of foam, it feels like the plushest shoe with drop-in midsoles that you've ever experienced. Among the Nike series, the Kobe series, which had drop-in midsoles, the Kobe 9s were actually better than the 8s or 7, and even better than the 11s and the 80 NXT, because the Kobe 9 actually had a pretty thick swivel board, even if you remove the drop-in midsole, and the drop-in midsole in tandem with that thick strobo board provided a better cushioning. But still, the Kobe 9s, the problem is it had a very square or angular heel that made it clunky, and at the same time the Lunarlon was bottoming out very quickly, and the heel, especially heel, it compressed bottom out really quickly. For this one, I don't know what kind of foam it is, they did not specify, but it feels feather light, so it feels like Lunarlon, and it feels as light as Lunarlon, but it feels a little bit denser and a little bit more resilient. So it feels like Lunarlon 2.0. I'm thinking it's probably just EVA Phylon or perhaps Cushlon, but nonetheless, it's got a good heel to toe drop, and it's pretty thin, but at the same time, it provides a decent amount of cushioning. Among all drop-in midsole shoes, I think this is the most plushest, and I feel that it won't bottom out as quickly as the Reacts or the Lunarlon drop-in midsoles that we've had in previous Kobe models. So yeah, the cushioning, I'm pretty pleased with it, even though I think they took out the Zoom Air. Maybe it's got Zoom Air, but anyway, it feels like it's got a very thin but substantial amount of foam, even without the drop-in midsole. Zoom Air, I'm not so sure. I don't feel anything raised when I feel it or when I wear it, and it does not state Zoom Air anywhere on the shoe. Nike, if you know the brand, they would just scream about what they have inside all over the shoe. If they have something, if they have a droplet of Zoom, they would say Zoom all over the shoe. So yeah, even though it's deducted the Zoom, it actually feels like a better cushioned shoe than the ones and twos, the Cosmic Unity ones and twos, because the ones and twos are very low to the ground, and the Zoom Air was very pretty much it. And then there was just the starchy insole that covered the Zoom strobo. So yeah. Again, fit, I would say you would have to go up half a size at least, or maybe even a whole size, because the shoe is really, maybe it's all the knit and foam, but it feels very, very short. Lengthwise, it feels like it's just, it makes your toes curl up a little bit, so it does not feel like a regular size 9 for me. Try it. Widthwise, it feels pretty forgiving. In terms of the overall fit, I like it because, as you can tell, there's no crazy dead space, and it's flexible and rigid where it should be. The pattern here, it's nicely made, so it provides a containment, flexibility, and at the same time it eliminates the crazy dead space you have along on the top of the toe box area, which has been just, you know, a plague that's been all over the shoe industry in recent years for some reason. So the fit, toe box area fit wise, this is superb for me. The tongue is a pretty thick foam spongy material, and the ankle and surrounding areas, they have a very thick foam padding, so heel slippage is not an issue here. Good containment, lockdown, and foamy, I suppose, memory foam kind of padding all around that will form to the shape of your ankle or your heel, so that's nice. Yeah, it's got a pretty smooth heel to toe transition. There's no angular, you know, clunkiness. It just transitions smoothly all over, and the width, thanks to the midsole sticking out here, or the thickness of the outsole, the width, it actually has and it's pretty low to the ground, even though it feels plush. So it provides a good breakage system in terms of preventing ankle rollover. So that is very nice. And the outsole pattern is a bit of a puzzling. It feels like the Cosmic Unity 2 pattern, except it's less spacious. The lines are a lot, I suppose, the blades are a lot thicker. So yeah, it's gonna be more dust sensitive than Cosmic Unity 2. And also in terms of durability, the rubber pattern, the rubber texture and everything, it feels a lot like Cosmic Unity 1, which wore out faster than most other rubber shoes. And of course, Cosmic Unity, they always boast about using 20% recycled material, which is not good news for the consumers, because the recycled material doesn't seem to be 20% less resistant or less durable for some reason. So that's one thing that you might want to keep in mind. The pattern also, the grooves are deep in some parts, and in other parts, the grooves are pretty, you know, just slightly stamped on there. So it feels like they're gonna go bald very soon. So even though it says like bring it outside all over the shoe, I don't know why it shows these mountains and stuff, but this is not a tracking shoe, not a trailing shoe. This is not gonna be the most durable shoe outdoors. So it's a bit puzzling. So there you go. This is the Cosmic Unity 3, which does not seem to have Zoom Air, but which weighs more than its predecessors. It feels heavier than its predecessor, but the drop-in midsole made a comeback, and the density, the carpety coating all around, it's nice, because if it's just rubber and if you sweat inside it, you feel your foot sliding in a little bit. So this actually positions your foot and secures them nicely, fastens them nicely. So this little coating, that's a very nice touch. So in terms of drop-in midsole basketball shoes, if you compare similar models in the past, I think this is the best iteration, best interpretation, best version of drop-in midsole basketball shoes. It feels like the cushioning is adequate. It feels plush in areas where you need it most, which is the pivot point of the heel, and it does not feel like it bottoms out or sink immediately like they did in the Lunarlon midsoles. And because of the substantial foam that's already right above the outsole and underneath the trouble board, or either that because of a thick trouble board, the low to the ground midsole combines nicely with a denser, thicker Strobel board, and it provides the best type of, the plushest, best low to the ground and yet still plush type of cushioning compared to any other drop-in midsole basketball shoes in the past, especially if you compare them to the Kobe 8s or even the Kobe 9s or the Kobe 11s, Kobe AD Next, and Mamba Rage and all that. Even though they had heel Zoom Air, this actually feels even better than that.